Was becoming a head coach a goal once you finished your career, and if not, what was?
Yeah, I always had coaching on my mind when I was a professional athlete, but it was hard to think about coaching while I was playing because when you're a player, you think you maybe can play forever. So in my last few years, I was a captain of a team, I had a bigger voice in the team, and I was a leader out on the field. And in some ways, I felt like a coach out on the field. So towards the end of my career, I think that I could certainly see coaching in my future.
So now that you are a head coach, obviously you're almost like a coach at home too. How is it like balancing that with team management?
Yeah, when you are a coach, you are the leader, and yeah, when I'm home, you're leading the family. When I'm home, sometimes I was coaching my kids. So in most parts of my life, you know, the job description of a coach comes into play because it just means leading a group. So at home, I'm that person, and with my wife, we both kind of lead the family, and then yeah, at work, it's very comfortable to be in the position of leadership. I enjoy the responsibility that comes with it, and I'm very comfortable doing it.
How have you adapted to the extra responsibilities of being a head coach, moving from the assistant coach position?
Yeah, it's been a pretty smooth transition from assistant coach to head coach, but it's a lot more work and a lot more responsibility. How have I dealt with that? Well, I've seen along the way what head coaches do, and in these last 4 years, I've seen the head coach before me, Jesse Marsh, who I was the assistant with. You know, I was side by side with him most days, and I can see exactly the managing that comes into it, the details, how many little things you have to think about on a daily basis. So I was watching that get done. I knew that comes with the job, and now, you know, I go to work every day with a full tank of gas, essentially, in my body. So I'm ready. I'm ready for what the day brings, and quite honestly, there's a lot of little things to think about, and I enjoy it, but I'm up for it.
So ever since Jesse Marsh left, do you think that you changed the culture of the locker room in any way?
No, I would say no. The culture at the New York Red Bulls is strong, and it's over the last 4 years we've created a culture. Jesse was the head coach, but above him is a sporting director, and it's a club philosophy and a club culture that is stronger than any one person. So when I've now taken over, honestly, I've added little things to the club, you know, on the field, a little bit off the field, but from a culture standpoint, you know, for us, it's all about the people and relationships and treating people the right way. And when you come to work, what hard work looks like, and our core values. So that stays strong. So for me, it's been more about defending the culture, not adding to it so much and changing the culture, because it's a strong, positive culture.
What do you think are some of the essential management skills of being a successful head coach in the MLS?
Well, I mean, most importantly, when you're a manager and at this level, at the pro level, is to manage people and personalities, and then ultimately get the most out of people. But in terms of the managing, it's really to know every player, to understand what makes them tick, how to reach those guys on a human level, and then you can see how good they can be as athletes. But for me, from a managing standpoint, it's all about the relationships and the people, and that goes beyond the players. So to make a successful team, you have to get the players right. You have to get the coaching staff right. The extended staff of the medical team, the equipment, the sports science team of people, the woman who cleans our building to the woman who cooks our food to training. Like, there's so much managing that goes into it, which then we have a Red Bull 2 team. It's our second division team, or second tier team, let's say, called Red Bull 2. And there's the academy, which is made up of hundreds of players. And there's that staff and players and extended staff. So to get the managing part right, you have hundreds of people you have to be thinking about and looking after. And if you can address that on a daily basis, I think you have a chance of winning.
You said working with professionals and everything. How much of a difference is it coaching the Red Bulls than your former women's soccer team at Adelphi?
It's different. It's similar in some ways, but you're asking me how it's different. So, when you have pro athletes, they are there for soccer only, right? They are there. That is their job. They get paid to produce. They get paid to show up. As opposed to a college student athlete, they're on the team for those reasons, but they are at that university for an education. So, the expectations and the demands aren't different. You still expect people to treat people the right way and show up and give everything, but you have to understand the mindset and mentality of each of those humans, beings. You know what I'm saying? Like they sometimes come with a different perspective. And now when it's the professional level, sometimes I don't know, you can demand certain things at the college level and you can ask certain things, but and as part of a team you would think they have to do it, but when you're a pro, there's no gray area. You're getting paid to play. You're getting paid to do a job. So it's so much more literal. Like when you say, hey, do your job, they literally have to, so college, it's a different mindset. Although the way I treat each the college student, college athlete and the pro athlete, it's again, treating people with respect, treating people fairly, kindly, and really setting a high bar and standard for what a good pass is, what a good shot is, how to score goals, how to defend. It's just a notch up. So I would just say that the demands are higher at the professional level.
And going back to the professional level, obviously playoffs are right around the corner. The Red Bulls are in a great spot. As a first-year head coach, are you at all nervous or think about like the amount of pressure that comes with some of these do-or-die games?
I'm not nervous. When game day comes and the week prepping for the game comes, I think there'll be extra excitement. But I've been around a long time, the game, even though this is my first time as a head coach at the pro level. I think pressure and stress those are words that are thrown out there. I don't necessarily. I feel some of that, but it's positive. It's not negative. We get pressure. That's very negative. So for me, I feel excited at the pressure, situation, because I want to win. You got to win for the players. You got to win for the families, the fans that haven't won a major trophy in 22 years, meaning the MLS Cup. We've won the Supporters Shield, which is best record overall twice. But so no, I don't. I get more excited like an athlete, a competitor does. There's been times as a pro soccer player playing in the biggest game in front of 100,000 people. I've been there. Do I feel pressure? Yes, some type of pressure, but just because you want to do well. I'm not afraid of the day. I'm not afraid of the game. And on those days, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So it's pressure, quote unquote, pressure that you want. This is what we sign up for. I didn't sign up. There's many things you can do in life that don't have those, that don't bring on those emotions, And we choose this route of pro sports, of college sports, of competitive, jobs and situations, because we are wired to like that. And I remind the players of that all the time on big games. Guys, remember, you signed up for this. When you're a kid, 8, 9 years old, and yourself included, when you're taking a free throw in the driveway or a penalty shot in the backyard, and you're like, okay, the fans are roaring. It's the last shot. If he makes it, they win. If they misses, they lose. That's the type of talking we did. And I know you've done it. And he's got the ball. He snaps back. And now for us, he's the 5th shooter. He's at the line. It's all on the line. If he scores the penalty, they're the World Cup champions. You don't have those visions as a kid. He's at the line. It's 9-0. He scores. They win 10-0. Like, that's not the scenarios that we dream about. So I remind myself and the players that this is what we, somewhere in our crazy brains, that this is what we signed up for, the pressure situations.
All right, I think that's it.
All right. Perfect.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.